Hello again, this is Tim Lloyd from gmatch.cz. We're part of Gain Access in Prague in the Czech Republic. This is video 3 in this series of how to apply to, or very superficially, how to apply to the top 10 MBAs in the world according to FT.com. This is Wharton, number 3 on the list in Pennsylvania, as I'm sure you know. It's a very popular university with our GMAT students, and very often those students come to us and say, please help. We need help with these application essays, these motivation essays. Essay 1 is a pretty standard one. There are only 2 for Wharton, so that's quite different to some of the others. Here we go. What do you hope to gain professionally from the Wharton MBA? 500 words. 500 could be a lot or not enough. Let's see. We are heavily focused on research here. We really spend time looking at what each university offers according to, yes, the MBA curriculum or the master's curriculum, depending what you're into, and the campus opportunities. What clubs and associations are there? Okay, remember, the application process is your opportunity to position yourself as a real professional, but also a real person. So include applicable aspects of the Wharton MBA, clubs and associations, campus life and opportunities that click into your goals and development vision. But don't be cliche, okay, but be specific. They'll know and they'll appreciate the fact that you do actually look into what they offer, because they put a lot of time, money and energy into developing the entire package. Okay, so let's go into a bit more detail here. What's the big picture of your career goals? Give specific aspects of the curriculum that will plug some of the key gaps in your professional skill set. You're not going to study a high-stress qualification because it's fun most of the time. Okay, it's because you want to improve yourself. So give indicators, okay? How will Wharton help your post-MBA goals, both immediate and long-term? Be specific, okay? Include key moments from your career or background. This is really important, that created and fed your goals and motivation. Describe these golden moments in your life. This is very often why we recommend people carry an application on their smartphone where they can where they can record ideas that come to them. Very often these memories will come back when you wake up or when you're playing golf or driving perhaps. But don't just list your achievements and accomplishments. That's a very bad mistake. This essay is not your CV. This is not about you listing things. It's about you selling yourself and positioning yourself. So how successful will you be at Wharton? This is really what this is all about. That's what they want to know. They don't want people who are not going to be rubbing shoulders with like-minded people. What specific gaps in your professional skill set will Wharton fill? That's what we were alluding to earlier with the comment on what needs to be improved about you. Now, let's think about the skills that you want to take. For example, imagine you want to improve your leadership skills. It's a common one. Well, what leadership skills? What in the curriculum will help with that? Okay, maybe watch some videos from alumni. Okay, they're out there. What experiences and situations at work or in life helped you helped you see the need for that improvement in leadership? What is it about life in Pennsylvania that attracts or interests you? It's a very important aspect of what you need to communicate. So again, research. And very simply, as I've said, stand out from the crowd, don't be cliche, and give the big picture with specific support. Okay, that's the process and that's what they're looking for. So that was essay 1. We're going to look at essay 2 before we do a quick walkthrough of the actual website for Wharton. Here we go. Teamwork is at the core of the Wharton MBA experience, with each student contributing unique elements to our collaborative culture. How will you contribute to the Wharton community? Approximately 400 words. Here we go. How many times do they need to say collaborate and cooperate there? The absolute fundamental here is know what Wharton expects from you, not just as a student, but as an alumni, because again, this is partly how they sell these very, very expensive MBA courses, master's courses, etc. So we do our research and then we position ourselves according to our strengths. So in this essay is your opportunity to communicate clearly how you both lead and cooperate. It's not only about you being the super manager, okay, and helping people reach their goals, etc. It's being part of that process, and that's what they want to look at. What lessons have you learned? Okay, yes, you want to refer back to parts of your life and career here. So again, careful thought and no need to rush this. Think about what you've learned and how this has made you someone who can give support to your fellow students and in the future, co-alumni. It happens. The admissions experts prefer standout candidates who are real. Okay, so the interview stage will build on these essays and on the information you give here. So it's vital that you are honest. The ability to connect with your peers and plug into people's value structures. This is extremely important. It's come up again and again when I've brainstormed with ex-GMAT students. You get to know someone quite well as a tutor over months, the emotions that come out through success and failure, etc. But the one thing that's very clear when you get to know someone, especially top managers, is what their value structure is. Okay, and these need to be desirable character traits for Wharton. So try to describe when and how you've developed this within yourself. Okay, plugging into people's value structures and making that part of your character trait. So that then leads us to think, how will you collaborate through the journey with these people? They are big egos, very intelligent, very competitive in many ways. So Wharton has to filter out those who will not be productive as part of that group community. A touch of humility, therefore, is probably a golden idea. Okay, just a little hint there. Leadership and collaboration through teamwork must all be expressed as priorities. That's really what that golden bit of humility can come into. Think of the different situations and environments, classes, and I'm talking about here when you're actually a part of the course. Think of the groups, the presentations, then the extracurricular, the clubs, the associations. Give specific examples and experiences that match with what your life is going to be like. Okay, and I'm talking about from your career and also from your life. So put yourself in that position. Very often GMATs, and this is fascinating, very often GMAT students tell me, because we very often keep our relationship and communication going over the years, both while they're studying their MBA or executive MBA or master's or doctorate, whatever it may be. And they almost all tell me how they find out very quickly they can share their strengths. For example, if you come from a finance background, you can help people who have big problems with part of the intensive math part of, in this case, an MBA. In turn, I can guarantee they will be able to give you help, tips, advice, and explain things with regards to marketing and communication, etc. I think it's clear that when we're put into situations of high stress, not much sleep, piles of books, piles and piles of books that have to be read through, that every little bit of help we can glean from each other in a team is absolutely a vital part of this journey. So think of how you have perhaps done that at work, at university, in the past, and in life in general. Think of specific team accomplishments around this. Think of something that will help you stand out. And remember, these alumni are going to be there for you for life. And part of this selection process, through these interviews and through these essays, etc., is to guarantee valued alumni. And I hear time and again how when alumni gather in various parts of the world over the years to come, it really is a very special part of their life and their journey. So there you go again, teamwork, cooperation, what you're going to give and get from an extremely valuable time in your life. We recommend you speak to people who know you and who you trust to give you more ideas for these answers. So now we're just going to do a quick walkthrough of the Wharton website. It's pretty straightforward. You will notice immediately on the left-hand side a series of submenus, and that as you can see, it's called the application checklist, background information, straightforward. Of course, a lot of this you can use from other applications. Application fee, yes, typical, about $250. Essays, the essays for 2020 class, in other words, those who will graduate in 2020 are going to come out in the summer very soon. It's June at the moment, so let's just say that we don't expect that there'll be many changes to these standard questions. Transcripts, of course, as with any other application, letters of recommendation, of course, you want to think very carefully about what would be impressive to this particular establishment and who they're looking for. GMAT, GRE, yeah, it's a big obstacle. You probably are not going to have a chance of getting your application accepted with anything like an average score. So aim for the top 10 percentile, aim for that 90%, that magic 700. GRE as well, we can also help with that. It's a slightly different test. We can talk about the difference if you want. If you have to show that you are good at English, if you're not a native speaker, then of course TOEFL or the other similar exams. There you go, straightforward stuff. To summarize and to close now, the key thing is to research, because, for example, INSEAD is slightly different in its priorities to Wharton to Stanford, etc. The next video will look at Harvard Business School, HBS, an absolute gem of a school, of course, in a lovely location. Thank you for your attention with this video. I hope it was useful. Feel free to reach out through any of our social media or click the link on the video and contact us directly. We can answer any of your questions. We help people specifically for GMAT, GRE, etc. These exams that are an absolute requirement, and we are always aiming for the top 10 percentile for students who want to go to such a prestigious university. And the information we get from research and through real brainstorming with student after student has been combined to give these tips. This is Tim Lloyd for gmat.cz. Looking forward to the next video. Goodbye.